Hello, everyone. So, today our topic of discussion is how to choose a good research topic because often no matter we are at what stage, whether we are a budding researcher, whether we are a fresh PhD student, whether we are starting our research journey and it applies to the thesis and the PhD dissertations as well. Like, how to choose a good research topic is the question that always comes to our mind as a researcher. And this is the major problem in front of us whenever we begin our journey. So, today we will be discussing a few fact points. We'll be referring to a few very good research papers, as well as we are going to discuss collectively what are the strategies and techniques which can assist us in shortlisting a good research topic for ourselves. So how we are going to cover that? We are going to first going to discuss what are the checkpoints. What are the major things which we have to check before we are starting? And then we are going to discuss what we should do as a researcher. What are the things which can assist us in actually shortlisting a good research topic for ourselves? So in this video, we are going to touch on what are the checkpoints. So we will be dividing this entire series into parts. And today we are going to discuss what are the checkpoints. Let's begin that. So what are the checkpoints whenever we are shortlisting and whenever we are screening a good research topic for our research? The first and the most important thing is we should verify the existence of the topic before choosing that topic for the research. Because of course, if the topic is already being researched, it will be a repetition. So we have to verify that. We must be knowing that, and we are going to cover in the upcoming series as well how we can verify the existing. But a few ways are we can check the Google Scholar, we can type in the keywords on the Google Scholar, the keywords related to our research, and we can check whether that topic is being previously researched or not. We can also do it via many AI tools nowadays. However, uh, please note that AI has yet, I feel, some limitations. The most important limitation is the accountability. And accountability is the very critical subject whenever we talk about research, and that's why I personally is always a very is a very skeptical person whenever it comes to AI uses in research. However, if you know any of the tool that takes the accountability, that tool is covering all the researches exist at the global level, then definitely you can do that. However, I personally haven't come across any research AI tool that assures that takes the accountability, that is completely holistically globally verifying the existence of the topic. So uh, excluding the AI tools for that, you may do that additionally, like, but completely relying on AI topic is your personal choice as a researcher. But a few techniques and the platforms which may assist us is first Google Scholar. The second is the verified databases like Scopus, like Web of Science. So we can put our keywords on these databases and we can check that whether that topic is previously researched or already existing or not. So first of all, we have to check it. The second is, are there good justifications for investigation? So we have to ask ourselves as a researcher that if the topic is verified and it is not existing, and we have checked the first point, we have to check that uh, are we able to justify that whether it needs a reinvestigation or not, whether we are building something to the body of knowledge or not. So this is very, very important, and we have to justify that, because in the research paper as well, or in the thesis or the dissertation as well, we have to justify. We should be knowing the why aspect of reinvestigation. The next comes, is it something new that was not previously known? So we have to again and again cross verify and validate whether the research objectives and the topic which we are intending to study, whether they are previously known or not known, and how we are building up upon the previous already existing research. I have also attached the referred research papers at the bottom. If you want to refer them, you can read them in detail as well. But the gist we are discussing uh, in this video. The next is gaps and unanswered question. We have to make sure that whether the questions, the research objectives, the topics which we are going to study, or the topic which we are going to dive down deep, is an unanswered question so far. And it's a very, very important aspect, because sometimes the learners or the researchers say that I want to study a topic, and it is studied in country context or in X context, but haven't uh, yet explored in Y country context. So now you have to check that do you feel that this kind of replication is going to be a novel research. So as a researcher, you have to decide that how strong your gap is and how strong your research questions are. So we have to check gaps and unanswered questions. We also have to ask ourselves that do the gaps in the question that remain unanswered necessarily need to be addressed? Are they so much important? Are they going to address some problem which is critical, or they should just be addressed if there are valid reasons? So we have to answer and write down the valid reasons that why it is critical, why it is so important to address those gaps, those research questions in the context and the time you are doing that. So, as a researcher, we have to be very clear on this aspect, because in the introduction, we have to discuss and reflect it in detail. Now comes the valid reasons. So, now the question comes to our mind that what are the valid reasons? What we should be asking ourselves? These are the reasons. The first is necessity. We have to check that the questions and the gaps which we are addressing are necessary, are critical, are very important, and there is a need to do that research. Then comes the importance, how important the research is, or the research which we, or the research objectives which we are going to take or study, how important they are. Then comes the relevance part, how it is going to impact, because we are solving a problem via research, and how the solution of that problem is going to create an impact, the relevance. And then comes the urgency, that how urgent it is that we are addressing that problem at that moment, at that time. Okay, so these are a few checkpoints, or the necessary questions, the necessary points which we have to check whenever we are framing a research question or shortlisting a research topic for our research. The next aspect of our agenda, that is what should be done as a researcher, step by step, how we can align that, we are going to cover in our next part of this series. Thank you so much.